And now, coming to you straight from the 505's most news-biting source of political commentainment, it's the New Mexico Inquisition with Danger K. Varoz.
Welcome to New Mexico Inquisition. I'm your host, Danger K. Varoz. Let's get right to the headlines. Marco's Pizza, currently slinging pies in 38 states, is finally coming to New Mexico. Marco's Pizza will bring 250 low-wage, probably minimum wage jobs to New Mexico. Yay! What were we worried about Intel leaving for? This extremely successful pizza joint will be sweeping the nation. There's going to be locations in Albuquerque, Rio Rancho, and Carlsbad. Unfortunately, there won't be any locations in Santa Fe because Marco's Pizza is not gluten-free. 3 Albuquerque men have been charged with stealing high-end bicycles from a number of locations around Santa Fe and Albuquerque and appear to have been selling the bikes to a man named Stoneface, who they say works for a well-known drug cartel. See what happens when you make it illegal for undocumented immigrants to obtain driver's licenses? The men have reportedly confessed to a lot of other bicycle thefts in the region. Oh, they are so dead. We spoke to Stoneface on the condition of anonymity.
I don't know why everyone's always calling me Stoneface. Nothing wrong with my face. It's a regular face. I look like a Jeff. That's my name, Jeff. With a G.
The owner of a Mayhill convenience store recently came under fire for displaying what some would call racist or bigoted signs in the front window and door of his shop. Signs that display slogans such as "Kill Obama" and "Obama and other Muslims not welcome here." Yeah. They sparked outrage locally and online. In the interest of being fair, we spoke to the owner of the store to get his side of the story. Okay. The state scholarship program could see a drop in coverage from 90% to 60% if lawmakers don't take action to shore up the funds during the current budget crisis. Lottery scholarship recipients at UNM could have to cover an additional $1,000 in tuition fees compared to the $300 they're expected to pay under the scholarship's current structure. Senator John Arthur Smith of Deming, the chair of the Legislature Finance Committee, said that he thinks covering 60% of the tuition is a pretty good deal. Though he would like to see a soft landing for students. Have you ever been broken in college, Mr. Smith? Because I'd like to show you what kind of a landing incoming scholarship recipients can expect if they have to cover an extra grand every semester just to stay in school. Roll the tape! Got the hole! And since new revenue streams are completely off the table with our deeply unpopular governor, there we go. And since new revenue streams are completely off the table, all we can hope for is to maybe cut the food program from our public schools to help pay for our poor kids to go to college. And now you can put up the angry pizza face. The Albuquerque Journal reports that a Ross store is coming to the Paseo corridor at Wyoming. A spokesperson did not respond to the Journal's questions about the store. Questions like, when will they open, and whether they be replacing an existing Ross. Why aren't they answering any of the Journal's questions? What's going on at the Paseo corridor? We had our own Isiah Yazzie check it out. Sorry, I'm covering Isiah, what's going on out there with that Ross opening up?
Hey, Danger, it's me, Isiah. I'm out here at the Paseo corridor. Still no sign of the Ross. The only sign we could find was this Ross sign. As you can tell, Danger, people here in the Paseo corridor are excited for this Ross.
Any reason why they won't answer any of the Journal's questions, like when they're opening and if they're replacing the existing Ross?
I don't think they're answering any questions because this is the Ross spokesperson. Everything you need to know is on this board. It's coming soon. So keep reading those nail-biting news stories from the Albuquerque Journal. Actually, in other news biting stories, there is a clothing store that is shutting down here in Albuquerque. I wonder if it has something to do with this Ross opening up. New Mexico Inquisition is on it. We're here at Macy's, so let's go ask some hard-hitting questions. How often do you guys come to Macy's?
Not that often.
Where are you gonna shop now that Macy's is closing?
I go to JCPenney too, and on the internet, if they have the internet open. So.
Oh yeah, they'll always have the internet open. It's always open. Where are you gonna be finding employment after Macy's shuts down, ma'am? Are you afraid because the color of your mannequin plastic, it'll be hard to seek employment elsewhere? Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. You will not see those doors.
Isaiah. Okay, Isaiah, I feel like this is derailed. All right, I guess we lost him. Okay. A company based in Brooklyn, New York, named Emoji Fame, that's best known for its custom celebrity emojis, has turned its attention to New Mexico and created a new Mexican-themed sticker pack. And stunningly, current missing emojis include an angry cop, La Llorona, and Don Schrader. Representative Monica Youngblood of Albuquerque has pre-filed a bill that would bring back lethal injection as a punishment option for convicted killers of police, children, and correction officers. This would be opposed to our current punishment option of life imprisonment or being gunned down in the street by police unconvicted. Youngblood believes the bill would have a larger appeal than Governor Susana Martinez's already identical bill, simply because it narrows down the types of crimes currently punishable by death penalty, such as homeless camping in the mountains. Over 300 people have signed an online petition to name ResDog as the official state dog of New Mexico. The petition asserts lineage and heritage to what some would say is essentially an indistinct feral mutt that roams ownerless across the reservation, eating garbage. The Inquisition takes to the streets for their opinion.
Sir, can I interview you really quick? No? Did you guys grow up in New Mexico? Nice. Sorry, this is my first day on the job. Did you hear that there's a petition going around to make ResDog the official state dog of New Mexico?
Why?
I think that's really something that should happen. Something that New Mexico does need.
The ResDog, is that a breed of dog?
Can you please tell me which dog is the ResDog?
I think it's that one.
I mean, besides that one, I would probably pick that one.
I'm really leaning here.
No. Yeah, with the bad housing in the back, huh? That's what gave it away. I am a ResDog.
Okay, all right.
Okay, so thank you for noticing. Nobody's really noticed.
Just the one.
Nope, that's just a crazy bitch. Have you ever beat a dog?
No, of course not.
Would you like to?
No.
Back to you, Danger.
For more on the story, we are joined by ResDog in the studio today, everybody. Give it up for ResDog! Come in here, man. Yeah, how you doing, puppy? Yeah, it's a good boy. He's a good boy.
Hello, New Mexico. Hello, Danger.
Hey, ResDog.
Thank you for taking me in.
Of course. So, how do you feel about all the attention you've been getting lately, ResDog?
Well, to tell you the truth, I'm not really used to getting any attention at all, or food, or water, even a place to sleep.
So, did you sign the petition yet?
Well, I tried to get inside the house so I could sign it, but I just got kicked in the ribs.
Oh, that's terrible, ResDog. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, man. Does it make you feel any better to know that the petition to name you state dog has gained a lot of traction online?
Does the petition help with the ribs? With the fleas? With my worms?
Nope.
With food?
None of that.
Is this where I tell the audience, hey, spay and neuter your pets?
It's way past that now, ResDog.
You said you'd give me some food.
ResDog, ladies and gentlemen. All right, no, that's enough. That's enough. No, get. If you'd like to sign the petition online, you can probably just Do any other pointless thing instead. A new development approved for the west side of Albuquerque, known as Santolina, has recently been granted a series of tax incentives by the Bernalillo County Commission. The project is being managed by West Albuquerque Land Holding Corporation, a creation of Barclays Bank in England. Barclays Bank once fined 299 million pounds for manipulating the U.S. marketplace, and has also been behind such gems as South African apartheid and the Dakota Access Pipeline. Opposition leaders at Contra Santolina point to the lack of water and disagree on population growth projections because being funded by Barclays was not enough of a negative trait for these people, apparently. A spokesperson for Santolina declined to comment on our program, so we at the New Mexico Inquisition did all the talking for them. Our senior Santolina correspondent, Sheridan Johnson, has the story.
Santolina is a 13,850-acre master plan development, scheduled to be built on the former Etrisco land grant area off I-40 on the west side. According to the Santolina website, projections by the Mid-Region Council of Governments indicate that the area's population will increase by 438,522 people by 2040.
Wow, that's literally a 50% climb.
Now that kind of growth needs to get checked by a doctor.
I am the Associate Director of Geospatial and Population Studies at the University of New Mexico. And as Associate Director, I head our Demographic Research Unit. Between 2015 and 2040, we are projecting a rise of about 120,000 people.
Not quite the same. So where does this number, 438,522, come from?
It turns out the 2012 study cited by Santolina is like the Ford Pinto, Quaaludes, or soon, George Orwell's beloved classic 1984, no longer available for public consumption.
They're not available to the public because we are afraid that they will be misused. They are dated at this point. In the last 4 years, as I've stated earlier, there was a dramatic shift in fertility rates, which means there's far less people having babies, and there has been a dramatic shift in migration rates.
Now, I know what you're thinking. This seems like a gross overreaction to a tiny hiccup, sometimes referred to as a recession.
See, from 2001 to 2011, New Mexico gained on average about 9,000 people a year, and between 2011 and 2016, we have lost on average about 8,000 people a year. That's quite a shift. It's no longer something we consider a hiccup.
But there's more to Santolina than just numbers. It is a planned community, after all. So we spoke to the president of the Neighborhood Association at Mesa del Sol, a beautiful master plan development off I-25, full of good neighbors, barbecues, and summer movies on the lawn. But is this master plan going as planned?
If all goes according to plan, you might have a grocery store by the time you hit 5 years of living here?
No, I think it's probably another 10 or 15 years before we'll see a grocery store out here.
Does that seem like a long time to you?
Well, it depends on the situation. I think the growth out here has been slower than anticipated.
So we have one of these Santolina-type master plans already, and it's not going great, but it's not going badly. Which begs the question, why are these guys wearing matching shirts and taping their mouths shut, trolling the county commissioner meetings? These two belong to a little-known group called Contra Santolina. Among its ranks, farmer and educator Travis McKenzie.
What is the deal with Contra Santolina?
It's a movement. It's a group of people that take time out of their day, take time out of their families' lives to get together and basically fight this ginormous development project.
Why, you say? One simple word. Water. Rights. The development stands to use almost 20,000 gallons of water each day, all in the name of giving our state a brighter tomorrow.
Why do you hate progress?
Yeah, I don't think it's the right kind of progress. I think there's a lot of people living here. There's a lot of historical neighborhoods and already existing communities, and we need to take care of them.
What's making that noise?
Those are all the animales. There's people keep ducks, geese, goats, keep pigs, cows. People got horses, chickens, all that good stuff, roosters, guinea hens.
And you think guinea hens are more important than lawns?
I think so. I think food is a lot more important than lawns.
Don't let Travis and his adorable animales fool you. He's clearly an anti-progress hippie. So we talked to Lorenzo Candelaria, undoubtedly older and wiser. He is the mayordomo, aka ancestral ditch boss.
My family's been on this land for over 300 years.
His job is to monitor the water distribution so that it is equitable. No easy task.
We're in a 50-year drought, or a drought that has been in effect for 50 years and is getting worse. And no, there is not enough water.
To be clear, Santolina won't change existing water rights. Every existing farm will have the same acre footage as before. So how does this development affect farmers?
It affects the water pressure in the ditch, which means that if it took me 4 hours, let's say, to irrigate this property before, it's taking me 6 to 8 hours. And some crops don't tolerate that kind of soaking, that kind of water. They're just not water tolerant.
So why not just make new crops?
Because those new crops often don't grow here.
But at the very least, we should expect this endeavor to be a serious financial boon for New Mexico. And for this, we turn to top New Mexican economist Kelly O'Donnell with good news. She calls the project a tremendous drain.
The more pressure you put on limited reserves of water, the harder it becomes to say to businesses that are considering coming to New Mexico, hey, we've got water, and we're confident that we will, for perpetuity.
Well, I say, screw future businesses. Let's make some jobs now. I'm talking the bread and butter of construction jobs.
Construction provides a short-term shot in the arm for an economy.
Give me a fix. Give me a fix. Have you seen our highways? Good God, give me a fix.
If we can get some quick construction projects, we can get some quick economic development. That when you go for a quick fix like that, you are basically compromising future prospects.
Well, that doesn't sound good.
We're really sort of foreclosing on our future economic development prospects.
So basically, this economist and these two farmers have one crucial thing in common.
I hate progress, yes. No. Since you asked, I think that progress is important, obviously, but this isn't progress. This is actually a very regressive approach. It's an approach that this community has taken over and over again. West Side sprawl is not a new phenomenon. And basically what we're saying is it hasn't worked thus far, so we're going to double down. And we're going to just throw in the rest of our resources into an approach to development that has consistently left New Mexico in the lurch.
Well, great. That sounds great. That sounds like a great big steaming pile of guinea hen feces. So how did this pass? Well, the county commission hearings were heated. The greatest concerns, aside from water, revolved around something called a Tax Incremental Development District, or a TID. What this means is that once a development has been approved for a TID, it stands to be refunded with taxpayer dollars for a percentage of its infrastructure building cost. Things like sewers, drain pipes, electrical circuits. But as long as Santolina wasn't ever going to ask for TIDs, it might have sort of maybe been okay. The most important thing was that we didn't give them the TIDs. Just don't give them any taxpayer money.
This county is not committed to fund the project or to any incentives in any regard. I think that is clear.
Woo! 2015 Santolina lawyer John Salazar is the best. But then, in 2016,
I guess I really am not surprised that the developer asked for tax increment districts. That was one of the reasons why I brought up the question numerous times, or I brought up the issue numerous times about tax increment districts, because I see that that's the big get.
Whoops. And now we're contractually obligated to refund Santolina's infrastructure costs up to $500,000, $1 million, $1 billion. Just kidding. It's not actually capped. As long as they keep building, we keep paying.
I think it's a misuse of the tax increment district tool.
Commissioner O'Malley was one of the 2 county commissioners who voted against the Santolina master plan and its TIDs. The other, Commissioner Maggie Hart Stebbins.
Well, look, Barclays owns the property, and I absolutely respect their right to do whatever they want with it. But it does come down to the question, does Barclays have the interest of Bernalillo County at heart?
Usually big banks, I don't think they really care about the people on the ground of the communities they're going to be affecting.
But surely representatives do. Members of the public attended county commission meetings in droves to speak against Santolina. But the county commission introduced a new procedure recently. Something called calling the question.
Calling the question is a procedural tactic to close debate.
It was introduced by this man, Art de la Cruz, seen here talking to Commissioner Maggie Hart-Stebbins.
Do you have that item? Because I'm not going to keep this open indefinitely.
You know, as we are making decisions that are going to affect this community for 50, 60 years, the public has a right to know every detail of that agreement. And in the middle of the debate, to call the question, tell those of us with questions and tell the public you have no right to continue this discussion. You know, that's really anti-democratic and anti-transparency.
So, who would vote to pass this monstrosity?
The same three individuals who voted yes on the master plan, voted yes on the level A development agreement, also voted not to hear any more public comment.
Listen to your constituents. Well, you know what? I do listen to constituents.
But in all the times I've been there, I've heard one person in favor of the development project, and then turns out they were on the payroll.
Oh, come on, guys. Really? You sent in your lobbyists? Well, what do you have to say for yourselves?
The reality is that if you look into the 50 years from now, as 1975 to 2015, where our population has doubled, and UNM, the bastion for information on population, is projecting that growth. Not because I'm saying it, not because the developer thinks that. That is a real projection.
Once again, direct from that bastion of information, UNM.
Between 2015 and 2040, we are projecting a rise of about 120,000 people.
Well, at the very least, we can count on Commissioner Art de la Cruz for one thing.
We're not going to tell people to stop having children.
Except, once again, Dr. Radigan?
There's far less people having babies.
That's right. So what's left to do now that everything has been approved? Well, we talked to the Water Authority Board. That's right, kids. That is our last chance. Get out those sign-making supplies. We have one more march.
I've served on the Water Authority Board from the minute I came onto the commission in 2009.
Well, the only other plan? Vote. Vote in your local elections. Run for office. Be the water you want to drink in the world. This is Sheridan Johnson for New Mexico Inquisition.
Thank you very much. That's our show today. Thanks for watching the New Mexico Inquisition. Yes, that's right. Make sure to come back next month for our next episode on Albuquerque Rapid Transit. We're going to leave the final word with Lorenzo Candelaria, who is the mayordomo of the South Valley.
We are children of the earth. It sustains us. It's our mother, literally. And what we do here is scratch at the breast of our Mother Earth that she may feed us. And this is why our water is so important to us and why we preserve it for the 7 generations coming. Water is not for sale, it's for defense. El agua no se vende, se defiende. El agua es la vida. No chingues con mi agua. Don't fuck with my water.